Guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I see you guys in there. Happy Friday. I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back, guys. Come on in, hit that like button. You know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm trying to fix my background real quick. What's up, everybody? You notice I'm still in jail. All right, I'm still in jail because all these cases are like that. Now, I could have done any case today, and I thought about covering the Charlie Kirk case, and I said, everybody's covering it, and I've been listening to it all day long. As it keeps coming, I'll probably run something once everything comes out, maybe next week, but come on in. What's up, Michelle? How you doing? Dandy, Lioness, LK. Come on, hit that like button, guys. Today we're talking about, and we're going to show the body cam. We're going to break down the body cam and talk about the Amish mom who's accused of killing her 4-year-old son during a spiritual delusion. All right. Now, I'm going to take you all the way from the time where she drove the golf cart into the water trying to take the lives of her entire family, and she only took the life of her 4-year-old and ultimately her husband. We're going to watch the body cam and break it down together. We're going to start from when this all started, from her being in court on Monday, and then we're going to compare this case to that of those that we all know so well, where mothers take the life of their children. All right, many mothers that you guys know take the life of their children, and they become infamous for it. And most of the time it's just an act of filicide. It can be an act of filicide based on a delusion. It could be an act of filicide based on postpartum. It could be you just can't handle your kids anymore and you have this crazy delusion like this lady did. And you guys know who I'm talking about here. We're talking about Lindsay Clancy, who recently took the life of her 3 children and then tried to take her own. As a matter of fact, her first time in court, she was in the hospital. We got Lindsay Clancy, Andrea Yates, Darla Routier, Susan Smith, Diane Downs, even Casey Anthony is on that list, guys. I mean, these people have spiritual delusions or just delusions. Andrea Yates, you guys know, 2001, Houston, Texas, drowned her 5 children and blamed it on a black guy, and then ultimately was charged with insanity from severe postpartum psychosis. All right. I don't know if you guys know Deanna Laney in Chapel Hill, Texas, 2003, killed 2 of her young sons by hitting them with large rocks over and over, claiming she was acting in divine command of God. All right. Ultimately insanity and committed to a mental hospital. Dina Schosler, suffering from severe postpartum, killed her 11-month-old daughter 2004 in Texas by cutting off her arms. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity. You guys, time and time again, these people are doing that. And what's happening? Same thing here. She's going to go into court. I'm going to show you. And guess what she's going to plead? Insanity again. All right. So I mean, this is hey, what's up, Crime Time Watcher? How you doing? Mo says they told Andrea Yates' husband she shouldn't have any more kids and ultimately she'd take all their lives, right? And why do they always lie about being a man of a different race? Everybody pretty much does that. Man, woman, doesn't matter. They talk about Black and Hispanics because that's a typical thing that happens. All right. So what's up, Nettie? I don't know why. Yeah, Megan Boswell. I mean, we can keep going. I mean, literally, you guys you didn't even say Lori Vallow. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell were convicted in 2023 for taking the lives of Tylee JJ and others. Again, religious delusions, dark spirits, zombies, except for the court wasn't buying Lori Vallow's story. Casey Anthony got off on it. Darla Routier called 911 and almost hit an artery. She was centimeters from hitting her artery if she did that, and was accused of and now on death row for taking the life of her two sons. All right. So, I mean, filicide is huge. Religious delusions are a big part of a case. And today it's a big part of this case. Shadow said, I said Lori Vallow. There you go. So that's why it's important to talk about this case because they're all in the same category. Andrea was a different case. Her husband Rusty kept getting her pregnant, living in a camper. And see, we don't know that, Francis. We don't know what the husband tell these people. We don't know that the husband didn't tell this Amish lady, Ruth Miller, that he wants to keep having babies because she took his life too. So we don't know that. Princess Mish, good to see you. Insanity is an instant cop out, and postpartum depression can be part of it. All right. Now, Casey Anthony got found not guilty, of course, and we know a lot of reasons in our opinions why. Yeah, not your Jesus, Shanda Vander Ark, and other ones trying to plead that she wasn't I don't know if it's insanity, but she's definitely trying to have another trial and plead that she wasn't in the right state of mind for the first one. So yeah, I mean, I think all of them, in my opinion, taking the lives of their children are in the same category. What is up, guys? If you are religious, you are delusional, Joseph says. What's up? That's a beautiful cat you have in that picture there. Good to see you. My very first animal, I had him for almost 20 years, looked just like that, and his name was Boo. All right, good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are here today. Hopefully some more folks roll in. We are trying to make our goal. I don't expect that if it's only the small crime crew. So come on in. Yeah, pure evil. All right. Good to see you, MM. Clark, Lori Vallow, and Chad Daybell just wanted to have sex, freedom without the burden of children. No religious delusions there. Although that's not that's not what Lori Vallow and the other people say. They say that she took them because of God. Yeah, the jury wasn't sleeping with Casey Anthony's lawyer, though, right? Yeah, and I could get into each individual case and pick it apart, and of course it's different. But when you lump it into a category of infamous mothers who took their children's life and blamed it on insanity, well, that's what you get. They need to start paying attention to the mental health crisis. You're absolutely right. COVID made it worse, locked inside, no doubt. No doubt. All right. So listen, what happened here? Well, I wanted to make sure everybody rolled in. Justice for thank you, Tiff, for making that. But we're just gonna say justice for the Miller children and husband. This lady, Ruth Miller, had a delusion and she drove her golf cart into the lake into the lake. They were on vacation and she tried to get rid of her whole family, you guys. So what's up, everybody? Good to see you. It doesn't matter how long I've been in here. I wanted to tell you what I'm comparing today's case to. Sometimes it takes me 3 minutes, sometimes it takes me 10. That's what we're talking about. Ruth Miller, religious delusion, all right, or a spiritual delusion, and you'll hear all about it because that's what we're talking about today. We've got a whole episode. So what I'll do is start with letting you know about Ruth Miller and what the heck she did. It's kind of complicated, honestly. Let me just start off with this. Let's start off with this. I'll play a clip for you. How about that? All right, let's check this out real quick. This is where it all started. And this case is moving fast. I got to tell you.
Was
It's
a
Ohio,
husband very devoted to his wife. I think they were also devoted
folks.
to the Bible, and that just manifested itself incorrectly.
Investigators are calling it an unusual tragedy.
I don't think there's making a lot of common sense out of it.
According to Sheriff Orvis Campbell, over the weekend, a family who's part of the Holmes County Amish community
Guys.
was visiting Atwood Lake. Around 10:30 Saturday morning, authorities rushed to an area near Atwood Marina West after a woman intentionally drove a golf cart between two buildings, hit a stone wall, and flipped into the water with her 3 teenage children on board.
He drove around the lake erratically, praying a couple places. It's our understanding that she then heard the voice again telling her to drive into the lake.
Before the crash,
I mean, guys, they're on vacation here. They're having a good time. It seems that she tried to take the life of all of her family members, but took the life of 2. And that's what we're going to watch today in the body cam after we talk about what happened where. I mean, this literally just happened. Court just happened on Monday. All right. This lady's name is Ruth Miller. She's an Amish woman, and she's already been in court accused of taking the life of her 4-year-old son and her husband now. All right. Now, this happened in Ohio. I don't know exactly how to say this county name, but it's Atwood Lake in Ohio. And this was the weekend of August 23rd and August 24th, 2025. All right. So both Amish and non-Amish communities, Ruth Miller, a 40-year-old Amish woman, has now been indicted for the death of her 4-year-old son, as well as her husband passed away, described by authorities as a spiritual delusion. All right. And it gets complicated because I didn't realize that she had other children that almost lost their lives as well that day. All right. And I hope this is not another she gets a stay in the hospital and then gets out.
witnesses saw the woman and teens huddled closely.
Heads touching, praying very intently
Hey, Chris.
next to the water by the kayak launch. So much so that it actually scared some witnesses.
It was soon discovered the woman's husband, Marcus Miller, and 4-year-old son, Vincent Miller, were missing. Through radical statements from the woman, investigators later learned earlier that morning, just after midnight, the woman and her husband jumped into the water.
Because God was speaking to them and telling them to do things. Things to prove their worthiness to God, to show
Oh, yeah,
Miller felt that he failed and went back into the water alone. The woman didn't see him again. Then around 8 a.m., the woman threw Vincent in the water, quote, as an offering to God. Vincent's body was...
Now remember, Vincent is her 4-year-old son. All right. She also had 2 teenagers that were 18. She had twins, and she's asking them in her delusion, where are my twins? And the police are confused. Now, this is what started it off right here was all this. Just took a dip into the water in their golf cart while on vacation.
Found around 6 p.m. Saturday, about 10 feet from the dock. Marcus's body was found around 8:30 Sunday morning.
The manner of these 2 deaths is pending until completion of the autopsies.
The Old Order Amish Church and family involved released a statement saying in part, quote, as a church of Christian faith, we believe that we are saved by grace through faith in Christ. And the events of this past weekend do not reflect our teachings or beliefs, but are instead a result of mental illness. While the woman is expected to be officially charged tomorrow, right now she's in a mental health facility. Officials say that her 3 teenagers are safe and are staying with relatives.
Yeah, I hadn't even got into that yet. I'm telling things a little bit different nowadays, giving you guys a little bit and then telling you a little bit. So, yes, 2 twins, 18 years old boys, a 15-year-old daughter, her husband, and her 4-year-old son were all in harm's way, all over her religious delusions. Michelle Horrock, thank you for being a member for 13 months. Appreciate you. All right, let's keep going. Yes, good to see you, all of you, Carolina, Janet, my regular folks. We're going to watch that body cam here in a minute after we talk about court, and then we're going to break it down. So settle in, hang out. Happy Friday, everybody. I appreciate you all for being here. All right. And then back to this. Thank you, Tiff, for sending that justice for the Miller family. Kel, thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. Good to see you guys. I put the goal out there as more people roll in. I know we're on a little delay. Hit that like button and share this with your community and your friends. Do they not treat mental illness in their community? And thank you for asking that, because mental illness in the community seems to be more like pray to God. They actually, most of the time, don't treat mental illness in the way that we do. They have religious beliefs, and the religious beliefs are to pray more or to go to your husband. They have, I mean, each religion has its own thing, right? So according to the police reports about her delusion, she claimed she was acting under divine directive when she took her son's life. Now, we're going to see the footage that shows Miller interacting with law enforcement and describing how confused she was and suggesting she may have been experiencing severe psychological episodes at the time. Her defense, she's entered a plea of insanity, arguing that Miller was not in control of her actions and believed she was saving her son's soul, which she's going to tell officers that. Now, the plea has sparked a debate over mental illness, like we're talking about, and usually it's treated within insular religious communities where they access psychiatric care, but it may be limited or stigmatized by their religion. All right. So when they don't really think about, let me go get you some type of pills to help you with that. That's not what they do. All right. Now, the Amish are known for their deeply rooted religious beliefs, simple living, and separation from modern society. All right. That's mostly what they do. That's mostly, but to talk about the mental health portion of it, experts note that the lack of formal mental health infrastructure within the Amish society can make it difficult to identify and treat conditions like schizophrenia, bipolar, and psychosis. All right. Now, in Miller's case, her belief was that she was acting on divine instruction and may have had a manifestation of untreated mental illness exacerbated by religious isolation and lack of medical care. So that's a great question what you asked, and that's how they do in their culture. All right, Foxy Amazon, thank you so much. You guys, if you got a membership, thank Foxy. Same with Carolina Hurtado, gifted 1 Guilty of Crime membership. Hope whoever gets it wants it. All right. Of course, we're going to have more members only. We're only at the very beginning of this month. All right. What's up, Barbie G? Good to see you. All right. So, yes, it doesn't get treated. It gets swept under the rug many times, you guys. That's just how it goes down. They don't hand you a pill and say, there, you're all better. All right, let's take a look. This is the local news station, WKYC Channel 3, Amish mother Ruth Miller indicted, and I'm going to show you what. Part of this anyway.
The Amish mother accused of killing her 4-year-old son was just indicted by a grand jury on charges of aggravated murder, child endangerment, and domestic violence. Newly released body camera footage sheds light on Miller's mental state, which law enforcement officials describe as a state of, quote, spiritual delusion. We do want to warn you, this is a really heavy story. The body camera footage, it is difficult to watch. We just wanted to give you that heads up. Annabelle Childers has the details.
I gave him to God.
She gave him to God.
And don't worry, I mean, that's good. Thank you, Synth, for putting that. But I mean, I'm actually not speculating on some of the things. I actually researched many of the things, and I'm speculating on what this woman did, and allegedly she took the lives. However, I did a lot of research on this case and how the Amish live in this particular situation. So this is based on me doing research about Amish and about this case. So there are things that are in my opinion and other things that I've researched and in the opinion of statistics that come from the community. So yeah, don't worry. And I also put fair use. I cite all of my stuff. So you don't have to do that, Synth. You can drop links to something. Tell them about your cookies, whatever. I appreciate it, but I got it.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
This body camera footage shows a conversation between sheriff's deputies and 40-year-old Ruth Miller on the morning of August 23rd. According to the Tuscarawas County Sheriff, deputies rushed to the Atwood Marina after witnesses reported seeing Ruth.
And that's what I wanted you to see, was that, because in the body cam, for some reason, it doesn't show that part of it. In the body cam, you're going to see this lady almost in her delusion as she's talking to law enforcement and leading them to where the crash happened. Women are particularly not listened to, right? Especially in the Amish community, a lot of religious communities. What do you mean you can't send a super chat? Are we having problems on here? I hope YouTube's not going to do that to us today. Yeah, women in the Amish community. I got you, Michelle. I got you. What's up, Kathleen? Good to see you. My maintenance man is Amish. Under the Mystic Moon says he's German. They have 13 kids. Never met the wife, but he's brought homemade bread from where him and the boys I've met are really kind. Only Amish I've known. Right. And their community in particular is very similar to what the people that you met. They have a lot of kids. They stay within their beliefs. And yeah, they don't listen to the women as much as they do with the men. Yeah, 13 children. Imagine that. Janet, thank you so much for donating today to Guilty of Crime for the $2 super chat. Amish kids, horse-drawn buggies. Yep, and a lot of people are leaving the Amish community nowadays because of the abuse within the communities, and their religious beliefs are just far behind us.
Miller drive a golf cart carrying her 3 teenage children into the lake. The teenagers got out safely, and rescuers pulled Miller out of the water. But when deputies spoke with her, they quickly realized this was more than an isolated incident.
She was in a
Miller's
delusion.
husband was missing, and this is what Ruth said about her 4-year-old son.
I threw him in the lake, and I gave him to God. And people are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real, and he loves you.
Where's your husband?
He went.
He's real and he loves you. Where's your husband? That's crazy, man. I want to watch the full body cam before we break it down, but I wanted you to see her in her delusion versus her in court. She looks way different. And it's not because her hair's down, but I just don't know. Pay attention to this, and then I'll show you the clip of her being in court. And it's a pretty good hearing. We're not going to watch the entire hearing, although I'd like to, but we don't have all day. But she just has this different look and demeanor. It's crazy how different she is there versus being in court. It does look like she's having some kind of breakdown here.
For a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him
He
since?
didn't ever come back. And we went to the boat, and his clothes were there. And God told me he's in the lake, and a fish swallowed him.
Deputies kept pushing for more information.
She said he's in the lake and a fish. What did she say about a fish swallowing it? This lady, I mean, I'm telling you, if I were a juror on this case and I saw this, it will be really hard to decide. And Jennifer, thank you so much for being a member for 3 months already. Love this community and we love you. Thank you. Yeah, she does. She looks so different. It's just, and again, I kept on thinking, what is it that's making her look so different? Is it really what she's wearing in the clothes or hair? She looks like she's a zombie here walking around, like doesn't even know what she's saying, in my opinion. Now that's in my opinion, right? All right. I didn't mean to pull that down. All
right. We really
open back up. All right, here we go.
Need to verify your husband's still with us.
That's
Okay.
Okay.
Well, he's actually just go out in the bottom of the lake.
go in
Well,
the
I can't
bottom of
go
the
in
lake.
bottom of the lake. So if
Do you
we
have
need,
scuba divers?
yeah, we're gonna have to call divers in to go to the
Okay.
bottom of the lake.
Please do.
And you're saying
Get the best ones there are, because this is a miracle from God, and you will see.
That night, divers found the 4-year-old's body in the water, and the next morning, Miller's husband's body was found. Ruth Miller was hospitalized for mental health concerns and later booked into the Tuscarawas County Jail. The sheriff says Ruth and her husband, Marcus Miller, were a part of the Amish community, and the mental crisis she was in manifested in what officials called, quote, a spiritual delusion.
And see, when you you have a case like this and you see this lady in a different state, and yes, she sounds sincere. No, my husband got swallowed up by a big fish. Don't worry though. Go get your best. Go get your best divers and go to the bottom of the lake. He's right there. He's right there. Yeah, no problem. Marissa, how you doing? I can't imagine having 4 children, let alone 13. All right. That's wild. And I imagine you get postpartum over and over again. Our boyfriend, Chief Rocka. Girlfriends, what do we have here? We have a lady in a spiritual delusion. That's what we have. That just drove her golf cart and dumped her family in the bottom of a lake, and she wants them to get out.
Friday morning, a grand jury indicted her
Well,
on 7 charges, 1 count of aggravated murder and 1 for
yeah,
murder and
man.
felonious assault in the death of her son. Miller was also indicted on 1 count of child endangerment and 3 counts of domestic violence for crashing the golf cart in Atwood Lake. Now,
And I'm going to show you the body cam, and then I'll just give you a little bit of court footage and how this is broken down. And more than likely, what's going to happen in this situation. The way it's running right now, looks like she might be in a hospital with those other ladies that are still in there for taking the life of their children. All right, it's all right. Now, Court TV put some body cam footage, which we're going to use after when we break this case down. But this graphic testimony, guys, this is I'll put the portion on that you can read it, because sometimes it's hard to say. And this is absolutely not funny, Pudding. I'm not saying it's funny. What I laughed about was a comment that said she got swallowed by a whale. So please don't take that as us thinking it's funny. We lighten things on this channel, and sometimes we make jokes, right, Crime Crew? Right. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. She did say that they got swallowed by a fish, and it shows you what kind of delusion that she's in. Let me put these on so you can read it too. Hold on. Okay. And it looks like she's being held up by her sons while she's walking and telling them.
What do you mean by that?
Sorry, she says she gave them to God.
I gave him to God.
You gave him to God.
Yes.
Did.
What do you mean by that?
I threw him in the lake, and I gave him to God. And people are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real, and he loves you.
Yeah,
He
man.
really does love you. He loves you. And I doubted him. I doubted him so many times. But I am to tell you, he is coming soon. He is coming very soon. Prepare your hearts. The end is close. And I'm for sure supposed to tell you that he does love you. Okay?
Ma'am, can you explain to me what happened? Who'd you throw in the water?
I gave my son to God.
Your son?
Yes.
Where's your husband?
He went for a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him
He
since?
didn't ever.
Her husband went for a walk this morning, and she believes in God and she listens to him. Many times she doesn't listen to what God says, but this time she listened to exactly what God told her, and God told her to give her son to him. All right. And absolutely, Dandy, Lioness, and we cover the hardest cases on this channel. And sometimes we need to make ourselves not cry. So we make a crack, but nothing about this case is funny. But yes, this lady is probably going to be convicted with insanity as being insane, I imagine. After watching this, I can't imagine a juror that's going to not believe it. I don't know. You'll see how much different she looks when she's not in the delusion. And look at her son. She has 2 twin sons back here, and this guy's just like, what is happening? The other one, and they're holding her up, it looks like.
Come back. And we went to the boat, and his clothes were there. And God told me he's in the lake, and a fish swallowed him. And you're actually supposed to go look for him in the bottom of the lake. And you will find the fish, and you will find my husband, and then you will believe. But ye of your little faith that did not believe before seeing.
Okay.
So send people down to the bottom of the lake looking for a fish. That has my husband.
How old's your son that's in the lake?
4. He's sweet. I love him. I gave him to him.
Okay. 7/9/40 Central. We're out with the mother. She is advising that she threw her 4-year-old son in the lake to give him to God.
And I do wonder what it is that makes them say that the end is coming. And of course, like Lori Vallow, it never comes. She's not going to walk out of those prison bars like she thinks she is. Can you imagine how she felt after she gets the help she needs? I can't even imagine something like this and then having to remember I did it and then watching her in court. She has to watch herself and listen to the things she's saying. It's just, she's like out of it the whole time. And yes, it's tragic. Absolutely. She just talks about it nonchalantly. Like, my husband got swallowed up by a big fish. His clothes are still sitting there. I don't see what the problem is. Go get him.
A firm.
But I wouldn't have believed today. So do you believe?
Awesome.
They are there, right? And you'll find them. Please don't.
Now, they didn't say who exactly called the police, but she had multiple people with her. She had her 2 18-year-old twin boys, a 15-year-old daughter, and then herself and her 4-year-old who she drove off into the lake. So they didn't talk about who called 911 or any of that, but they were on vacation at a state park or a state lake. You can see like the bathroom grounds, etc. We're going to break all this down. Don't worry. I know. They're just holding her up.
I found him, and then Cain came back to me. My husband and I both brought up him, and Cain came back to me.
I need to know where your husband's at.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
He's in a fish.
Yes.
There's no fish large enough on an Atwood to swallow your husband.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
Okay.
I thought your husband went for a walk.
Yeah, and then we came to the boat, and his clothes were laying on the boat.
Okay.
Tan
Yeah.
pants and cream shirt and flip-flops.
Do you have a cell phone?
It's in the camper.
It's in the camper. Where's your camper at?
I think it's,
Area 3?
I think so. Yeah. It's like a tannish camper.
It's a tannish camper. You don't know what lot number it is?
No.
'Cause we really need to verify your husband's still with us.
We need to verify he's still with us. Maybe they can call that cell phone and he'll answer, right? Because if it's a big fish and we get the divers, but that's how you see what's happening in this lady's mind. It's not making sense. You got the people in the background looking at her like, okay, where are they so we can get them? The boys trying to hold her up. And the law enforcement really truly is sympathizing and empathizing with her in a way. You see how they're handling her with kid gloves. All right. Rebecca, good to see you, my friend. Happy Friday. Much love. We miss you too. We want the whole crime crew here. Michelle says, what do you mean? What did you do, Mom? Mom, where's Dad? Why did you drive in the lake? Well, she tried to drive all of them into the lake. Let me just tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, he's actually just go out in the bottom of the lake.
Well, I can't go in the bottom of the lake. So
Do you have scuba divers?
Yeah, we're gonna have to call divers in to go to the bottom of the lake.
Please do.
And you're saying
Get the best ones there are, because this is a miracle from God. You will see. You will see.
you're saying your 4-year-old son's down there too?
He's with God.
He's with God, guys.
Where did you throw him in the water at?
Off of the dock at the causeway.
Where the bike was today?
Where the boat was?
Yeah, where the boat was. Please. I know.
When there's supposed to be ones coming out there.
I think there was one.
I get
We can get you water.
Please.
What's up?
Thank you.
Don't worry, guys. I'm making you watch this so that we can break it down together. I just want you to see the state that she's in and the things that she says. And also think about yourself being in court and listening to this. I mean, they really are. She really does. She means it. Yeah. You can see the officers don't have her handcuffed. They don't find her to be a threat, even though they know what she is doing and what she did. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the weirdest cases I've ever seen go down. I mean, if she's playing this off, boy, is she playing it well, guys.
We're right now we're gonna walk up to the squad, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're gonna put you in the back of the squad.
You will find my husband.
Okay, but you're gonna sit down in the back of the squad for us, okay?
Can I actually just sit with my children? Yeah. And have water?
Yeah, we can bring your children over.
I would love a glass of water.
Let's go up in this spot over
Why
here.
my children not here?
We'll bring them over in a minute. Let me go check you out.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. Kyle wants to go get you one.
You guys send the dive team over that way then?
They're supposed to bring one in.
Which dock is that so I can tell my dispatch?
That's cluster dock, the center cluster dock.
Center
Or
cluster.
on the causeway. Causeway center.
Causeway Center
Don't
cluster
forget
dock.
that right button.
7940 Central. You said it's the Causeway Center dock, right?
Causeway center.
Causeway Center dock. 7940 Central. The mother is advising that her boat is located if you just want to log at the Causeway Center dock, and that's where she threw the child in the water. She's also now saying that the husband's in the water. If you just want to log that and notify the dive team, the Rangers are heading over that way right now.
I really don't think people know how to handle her in that situation. Because remember, when we talk about the other people that have other mothers that have committed filicide, they don't do that. They act it out. So they'll say, oh, this happened, and they lie. They usually lie. Look at Lori Vallow. Lori Vallow didn't give that story until way later when she realized what the consequences are. Yes, she does. And that's why I need you guys to see this case, because if you ever come across something like this, or you see the signs, see something, say something, do something. And I don't know what's going on nowadays with people and mental illness, but it's definitely not being treated properly in this Amish community.
It's not part of my knee.
So your knee won't hurt you. Please trust me.
Okay.
It won't hurt you. Okay. It won't hurt you. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. You're fine. Doc, please show this woman that it is true. But I'm telling you, people are doubting it. It is getting harder for me to stay strong. Please show her that it is true what I'm telling you. That there is a fish in the bottom of the lake. Please never take me to sit with my children over the tree.
I mean, I've never seen anybody let somebody even do that. They're kneeling on the ground and saying a prayer, and you've got the other paramedics standing over there looking at her. They're letting her do that. And if this is scripted, then man, what's up? Good to see you, Deb. Take a look at this lady. She had a religious delusion so she gave her 4-year-old to God. Right, Brooke? She looks like a Mennonite. We're going to get into all that right now. I'm letting you guys just watch this go down.
You guys want to bring her over to that one?
Yeah, we'll take
Okay, so we can be closer to the rest of everybody else.
Thank you.
All right, have a seat right here. We'll go get your children as soon as they're done.
Oh, really?
Right here.
What is that?
Yeah, it is going to get hard. It's going to be hard to get past that, folks, when they've got the Baker Act crew there and they literally are drawn in like we are. And also I want to let you guys know, don't forget, I wore white for you on Friday. If you remember this week, somebody asked me to wear blue or purple. I wore that yesterday, and Friday was white. Joseph Rapp must have been hell to be her children. There's a lot of abuse in the Amish community and kids trying to get away. Just watch, Jennifer. We're getting there. Bree says Mennonite. Yes, I believe. Headscarf, only halfway covering. And you could see the sons have that Amish beard that they wear.
The kids right now.
I don't know if it's because they've asked if there's a little brother and dad or not.
Okay.
That's it.
And these two we doubted too.
Thank
but
you,
they are
Rebecca.
true. They are. It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember when Jesus was on the cross?
Yeah, I remember.
And he put his arm.
Do you remember when Jesus was on the cross, you guys? Because that's what she's saying right now. And he's saying, yeah, I remember this. All right. 111. That's awesome. Perfect timing, guys. Say a prayer that this family gets the justice they deserve. And she gets the mental help that she deserves. I really do think that possibly she actually had a delusion. Amish, holy Hannah, they have Rumspringer for the kids to leave, and they find themselves and decide whether to stay within the community or live in a world that large. Yeah, nowadays they can. They have an opportunity, but they're not treating mental illness in that community for sure. Kevin says, hey, Kevin. Pearl says, hello, Jay. How you doing? I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. It's Friday, and I couldn't be happier. I'm going to give some memberships, guys. The only way you're going to get a gifted membership is by hitting that like button and making a comment, and make sure you got your gifting membership on, okay? I love having new people roll in here and give us these comments. Casey says, I'm related to a Mennonite and they wear the same as Amish. The only difference is Amish don't have electricity where the Mennonite does have electricity. Now, they were on vacation when this happened, so remember that. They have to leave school after 8th grade. MoonTube, good to see you, my friend. I like MoonTube. MoonTube has a channel where she just talks about whatever she wants to talk about. Go sub up to her if you need a break from true crime. Extreme religious belief people, go nuts and brainwash.
He said, forgive them, for they know not
Yeah,
what
you
they
told
do.
me that already.
Yes.
I
They
don't
didn't
know.
know. They didn't know.
Yeah, right.
You are to trust. It's all about trust. It's hard because he does things in mysterious ways. And it's hard because we want to just believe our earthly ways. It's hard. It's part of you happy. And it's part of you happy.
So listen, guys, she's preaching to them right now. And I'm going to go into the next part of the breakdown because you guys are so used to me. You guys are so used to me giving it all away at the very beginning that you don't like when I don't tell you what's happening. So there you go. Justice for the Miller family. You saw her do that in the lake. Now we're going to break this down together and we're going to answer as many questions as we can. They literally prayed with her and she talked to them about trusting in Jesus. And she said she normally didn't always listen to what God said, but this time she was listening super careful, and that is what he wanted her to do. All right. I'm not sure about this, the swart. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, but we're going to find out what we can. And I don't know if this is ridiculous or if she really had this delusion. I mean, if I were a juror on this case with just this video, I'm kind of convinced. All right, we're going to break this down together and with the people from Court TV. This came out 2 days ago.
Teenage children into the lake. They escaped, but the act drew first responders who uncovered the horror. Ruth spoke in broken, unsettling phrases as deputies.
And look at her. That was her in court, guys, on Monday. She went into court and pled it. She pled insanity. And I'm telling you, those two lawyers right there are really behind her. You know how you can tell when someone's not buying it? These people are. These people are buying it, and I'm buying it too. I really am.
Pieced together the truth. Vincent's body was recovered that evening.
I know.
Marcus's the next morning. And what began as a desperate quest for divine affirmation.
Now, you guys only got the tip of the iceberg, so stay tuned because we just started. And Moon, this is Ohio, all right? This is the Amish. This is where this was in Ohio at Atwood Lake in Ohio, August 23rd and 24th. They were on vacation, guys. I mean, you guys know when I talk to you and we're driving the golf carts around, I never think about driving the golf cart off on the road and taking the life of my family. God doesn't tell me to do those things, right? All right, let's keep going. Yeah, she's hearing a lot of voices.
Ended in tragic death for a small child and his father. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And this story we're about to do is extremely sad.
And the reason I wanted to break it down with Court TV is because they've got a lot of people on here that are qualified experts to talk about this particular case, right? So we're going to break that down. And yes, bless it. It really believes she had a mental breakdown. Me too. The lady needs to be, and I talked about Lori Vallow earlier. MoonTube, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Like I said, guys, if you want to hear about whatever, I don't know exactly what your channel is, MoonTube, but I like it.
But we've seen things like it before in the past, and I want to go back in time. Remember Andrea Yates, who drowned her children?
Yep.
This was someone who was mentally ill. This is someone who was suffering. But when she drowned those children systematically, one at a time, as it turns out, she believed she was saving her children.
Which, guys, I have to tell you, the stark difference in this case is that every other mother called 911 and came up with a story and held that story until they couldn't hold the story anymore. In this instance, we saw what happened, and she looked like she was in the middle of a delusion or a manic episode or something.
And that was the testimony from the experts who evaluated her. And as a result, Andrea Yates was found not guilty, but not guilty by reason of insanity, despite the fact of what she did to her children. There was another case we covered on Court TV. Deanna Laney was her name. She didn't drown her children. She used rocks and one by one systematically smashed the heads of her young children. The youngest survived, but was severely disabled afterwards. She went to trial as well. And once again, the testimony from the experts getting into the mind of this killer.
This is another mom that did that. But listen, this lady was in court on Monday, and they have her away from her family. She has a protective order, but she's also in a mental health facility right now. I really do think that.
Because she did kill her children, was that she believed that she was saving them from Satan and delivering those children to God by smashing their heads with a rock. And the jury agreed. Deanna Laney was found not guilty, but not guilty by reason of insanity. Now we get to this case. We've got Ruth Miller, who's accused of killing her son, just 4 years old, again by drowning. And again, the defense in this case will be that she was legally insane at the time. She could not understand or appreciate the wrongfulness of her conduct. Basically,
it's interesting to hear the way Vinny talks about it and the other people that break it down, because I think 75% of us, after watching that, and you guys can tell me in chat if you think that she's playing the part, or do you really think that she was in some kind of psychosis or delusion? I don't even know if you can have postpartum with a 4-year-old. I don't know how long postpartum lasts. Could have postpartum psychosis. There you go. Thank you, Brooke.
Not knowing the difference between right and wrong, and thinking you're doing something good when you're doing something bad. You think you are saving your child when you are killing your child. And that's what this trial will be about for her. Now, in most of these cases, and the ones in the past, it's up to the expert to do the forensic evaluation of the accused murderer to get into her mind, to understand what she was thinking at the time. Well, in this case, it will happen like that, but there'll be something else that the jury will have an opportunity to see.
And that's what I want to talk about today, because that's what we're breaking down, is that evidence. I think that's going to be a strong piece of evidence, guys. The Amish don't get mental help. And Chief, I did not see your text message. I'll try to look at it. Last night I found a short with Charlie Kirk debating with the guy. Oh, wow. Did you send that to me? I'd love to see it, Chief. And I do want to cover the Charlie Kirk case, but I don't want to cover it when everybody else is covering it. I'd rather cover another case that needs to be covered.
Because she was recorded at the scene. We now have body camera. So responding to the scene, you get to see and hear the defendant close in time to when the killing took place. And that's a big difference. To me, that's a huge difference. You'll still have your experts who will testify and do their evaluations. But in addition to that, the jury will be able to see and hear her on the day.
Now, you guys think about this while we're in chat or while we're doing this. Think about this. Do you think that she had a psychotic break at that moment, and it caught her on body cam at that moment, but then afterwards she went back to being in her right mind and realized, what the heck did I do? Do you think that she needs mental help? That way they can prosecute her as somebody that did that in their right mind? Or do you think that she should be tried as insanity and be in a mental hospital the rest of her life? Reagan closed many mental hospitals, never rebuilt anything. Most go straight to prison. I agree. Dad dying makes no sense. He drowned trying to help his son, which doesn't make sense. I can't fathom how that happened either.
Of the killing. To understand what she was saying, what she was doing. So what we're going to do right now is play for you that video.
Yeah, you're right.
Of the responding officers. What is Ruth Miller saying in the aftermath of taking the life of her 4-year-old son and attempting to take the lives of her other children? Let's watch.
And it's not going to show the whole thing. It's going to go piece by piece to break it down. Plus, if you guys just came in and you missed this, there you go. I bet the older son, and now this is perfect timing. I bet the older sons were holding her gently so she didn't run off and try to drown herself. Right at that very moment, that's what they're doing. Those are her 2 twin teenage boys trying to hold her and carry her to where police are leading them. All right. You say she's probably schizophrenic or bipolar with no history of mental illness. And I got your message, Chief. I'm going to send that to myself down now. I'm not sure if that's the shooter. Yep. Yes.
I gave him to God.
You gave him to God?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I threw him in the lake, and I gave him to
you're
God.
right.
And people are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real, and he loves you. He really does love you. He loves you. And I doubted him. I doubted him so many times. But I am to tell you, he is coming soon. He is coming very soon. Prepare your hearts. The end is close. And I'm for sure supposed to tell you that he does love you. Okay?
Ma'am, can you explain to me what happened? Who did you throw in the water?
I gave my son to God.
Your son?
Yes.
Where's your husband?
He went for a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him
He
since?
didn't ever come back. And we went to the boat and his clothes were there.
See, she said he went for a walk this morning and went to the boat and his clothes weren't there. All right. So that doesn't make sense at all right now. You say I'm still upset over that case. Oh yeah, that Chloe Driver one. I really think that. I don't know if that lady was prosecuted correctly, in my opinion. When you hear about Chloe Driver and her phone calls with the guy that she wanted to be with, it doesn't sound so delusional. It sounds like her boyfriend didn't want that baby around and she did it because she wanted to have him by herself, like Diane Downs. Much different than this case.
And God told me,
in my opinion,
in the lake, and a fish swallowed him. And you're actually supposed to go look for him in the bottom of the lake. And you will find the fish. And you will find my husband. And then you will believe. But ye of your little faith that did not believe before seeing. So send people down to the bottom of the lake looking for a fish.
How old's your son that's in the lake?
4. He's sweet. I love him. I gave him.
Okay.
And then she clearly says she gave them to God, guys. Midnight Lace, everybody send her some good vibes and prayers. She's in the emergency room right now, and I hope you're not there too long either. Thank you for coming here. Jail is not where mentally ill people should go. And that's my question is, how do we decide if she was mentally ill the entire time, or did she snap? What happened? Yeah, she says his clothes were there. So maybe she put his clothes down to go catch the baby, to go, and then he drowned himself. I don't know.
9:40 Central.
I know.
We're out with the mother. She is advising that she threw her 4-year-old son in the lake to give him to God.
Oh, wow.
A firm.
So do you believe?
Tiffany Lucas is another one we covered over here. She shot her 2 little boys with a gun in the head and then claimed to be crazy. All right, that's another one. Tiffany Lucas. That one was as bad can get.
They are there.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna give some membership.
And then came back to me. My husband and I both thought of him. And came back to me.
I need to know where your husband's at.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
He's in a fish.
Yes.
There's no fish large enough in Atwood to swallow your husband.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
Okay. I thought your husband went to the front for a walk.
Yeah, and then we came to the boat, and his clothes were laying in the boat.
Okay.
You know why they're standing around? Again, we're gonna break this down. That's why I put it on Court TV. They just came out with this, and court happened on Monday. So I think that they really believe she's in a delusion, and they're going to 5150 her. They're carrying this all the way through in the case. Yeah, Tiffany Lucas also mentally ill. We watched that body cam, and boy, she said some really crazy delusional things, and that may have been from a D-rug induced, right? Drug induced.
Tan pants and cream shirt and flip flops.
Do you have a cell phone?
It's in the camper.
It's in the camper. Where's your camper at?
I think it's
Area 3?
I think so. Yeah. It's like a tannish camper.
It's a tannish camper. You don't know what lot number it is?
No.
We really need to verify your husband is still with us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, he's actually just go out in the bottom of the lake.
Well, I can't go in the bottom of the lake. So
we need scuba dive.
Yeah, we're gonna have to call divers in and go to the bottom of the lake.
Please do.
And you're saying
the best ones there are, because this is a miracle from God. We will see it. We'll see.
You're saying your 4-year-old son's down there too?
He's with God.
Where's his body at?
Where did you throw him in the water at?
Off of the dock at the causeway.
Where the bike was today?
Where the boat was?
Yeah, where the boat. I know.
All right, if you guys saw the body camera, right, I want to break this down. I don't want to watch the whole body camera. Go a little bit forward. I know they start at 14.
And he put his arms out and he said, "Forgive them, for they know not
Yeah,
what
you
they
told me
do."
that already.
Yes. They didn't know. They didn't know.
Yeah, right.
You are to trust. It's all about trust. It's hard because he does things in mysterious ways.
Sure.
And it's hard because we want to just believe our earthly ways. It's hard.
Yeah, they're totally just letting her talk and kind of humoring her.
Like they're
right
being
there.
very patient, but they're trying to get to the bottom of what happened here.
There you go.
What did happen here? Let's bring in our think tank. Joining me tonight, former police lieutenant and trial attorney Rick King. Also joining me, criminal defense attorney, former head New Jersey.
I wish they actually brought her lawyer on, because there is an interview at the local news station and her lawyer is talking, and he really does sound like he's definitely selling that mental illness. And Amish don't use technology typically, but sometimes they do if they need to. Like they'll have like one cell phone in their whole house, or one phone in their house, and you can use it at a certain time to do a certain thing. All right, but I mean, it's hard to get around technology nowadays. But yeah, there's certain ones that probably don't.
County Prosecutor Bob Bianchi and National Parenting and Family Relationship Expert, Dr. Sue Kornbluth. Okay, Rick, let me start with you. Investigators, police showing up, the ranger, trying to get to the bottom of this. The tone is very unusual.
I'm about to gift 5 memberships, guys. So if you need a membership, hit the like button and drop a comment so that I can, so you can get a membership gifted if you need one. Thank you, guys. There are a lot of people here that are in green. I appreciate that. I don't know what the purple crowns are. YouTube put the purple crowns in as #1 chatters, and I guess whoever puts the most comments gets the crowns. Maybe Sadie's mama knows. Midnight Lace says, hello. Michelle, thank you for being here. You guys could be on the other channels, and you're here with little old me, so thank you. The crime queen. I'll take that any day.
For a case where may involve the murder of a child, but it seems like it's taking some time to try to get and peel back the layers here.
Yeah, as I watch this, like my first question was, as they're walking her up from the water and they're talking to her, and there's 2 guys holding her arms. I'm wondering, who are those 2 guys? Because, and I wrote this down because I thought it was significant. She said, I gave them to God. I gave him to God. And then the officer said, you gave him to God. And I thought to myself, that's inviting elaboration. And then she said, yes. And then he said, what do you mean by that? And that's a direct probe designed to elicit information, possibly criminally culpable information about the situation. And I thought, hey, there should be Miranda here.
Hey, Val.
And I'm not sure anything she says following that is even going to come in.
That's interesting.
Oh, you made the cut, Michelle Murdoch. You'll get the next one. Don't worry. Just keep coming back. And it's nice to have the low numbers the last couple of days, because I get to talk with you guys and interact like we used to do. A lot of people come on the channel that are new when we have, hundreds of people chatting, and I never get to talk to them. So it's awesome, man. MM Clark says, Jay, I believe you get a crown when YouTube considers your comments on point. That sounds great. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that. Rooting for you on Turtle Island. Thank you. Peace, love, and plugs. Yeah, let's get some Turtle Island voters in here. Let's win and donate some money to not only National Missing and Exploited Children, but to you guys for some merch. All right. Love your channel. Best place for me to be on a Friday evening. I agree.
Bob, trying to get to the bottom of this entire situation because the husband is nowhere to be found, but he's in the water. And trying to, for investigators here who are responding because of the surviving children who were able to get away and then bring law enforcement there. This is a very confusing situation to try to figure out what exactly is going on.
Yeah. Vinny, been there on actually something almost exactly like this. And this is one of the reasons why I personally, when I ran the prosecutor's office, had our lawyers immediately contacted so they could either get to the scene as quickly as possible or be on the phone with the police. And this is a perfect example of why. Immediately, any lawyer listening to this is thinking about a courtroom, thinking about summation, thinking about the jury charges, and they're looking at diminished capacity or potential insanity, and they want to make sure the cops ask the right question.
And see, there you go. They're giving you a better understanding from former prosecutor to defense attorneys. That's why I like watching this stuff with you guys, because seeing this and talking about it gives such clarity to me when I'm watching the trial or keeping up on the case. And you're right, Deb. Casey Anthony also did that, and many times women do that, commit filicide. However, this one seems much different. And thank you so much, Bree, for gifting those 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. That's 10 we got in the last couple minutes. Princess Mish says, such a great channel here. Jay works so hard, and thank you. I appreciate that. I will not disagree with you guys that every single day I work hard to put an episode together for you. All right, this is sad. I hope I can make it to the end. I'm having awful pain. Oh man, go lay down. Don't worry about us. Take a nap.
Questions as soon as possible, like my colleague indicates, before the person invokes, and you don't get that information. So while it's chaotic, they've got to ask questions, goal-oriented behavior. What happened? How did it happen? When did it happen? Because all this goes to the mental state of the individual who's already confessed to having committed a crime.
What about Jen
Dr.
Soto?
Sue, when I'm looking at this entire, the tone of everything that is happening here, this is a very confusing, I believe, for investigators to try to get to the bottom of it. But their tone and the tone of Ruth Miller is what really sticks out to me in this situation in light of what we know.
I mean, she is literally just talking like if she was telling you, hey, we got to go to the store. We ran out of hot dog buns. I'm making dinner later. That's how she's talking right now. And the jury's going to see this. They've already seen this in court, including the judge. Yeah, Kimber, go relax, chill out, make yourself feel better. Much love to you. Bree says you're welcome for the gifted memberships and everybody that won. Now remember, Casey Anthony is still walking around, and so is Jen Soto. Yes, green is actually my favorite color too.
Know that there are 2 bodies in the water.
Yes,
exactly, Vinny. And her tone is very, very calm. It's very controlled. It's almost as if she is possibly possessed by something. It looks as though perhaps something's taken her over. But why? What is it? Where's it from? Why was it only the 4-year-old that went into the lake? What was going on with the husband? What was going on with the husband and the child? Why were the other children not involved in this? Her demeanor is so calm, and we often see this in individuals that have mental health problems.
Rick, to me,
Now, let me tell you something, Catherine. She didn't go to jail. She's actually in a mental health facility right now. I don't think they ever took her to jail. As a matter of fact, you can see the people that are talking with her and holding her and standing there. I believe that she went originally to mental health facility. She did she went to court, pled insanity, and that's where she is now. She also has a no contact order. All right. Clark says, did you see my number? I think you guys are talking amongst yourselves. All right, let's keep going.
Understanding the husband's role in all of this, right? He's not there. Is he a potential victim here? Or is he perhaps a potential perpetrator here? This is not going to be easy necessarily to figure out.
Right?
No. And when you take that and couple it with whether her statements come in or not, because if the husband's on the bottom of the lake along with the young boy, did he take him down there? Is that gonna be, would that have potentially be part of what's happening? You don't know, because you don't know what actually happened. And if you lose her statements, is that much more important. Now, I don't know from a strategy perspective, if you want those statements, if you're claiming that she's insane, I don't know. However, that's got to be part of the analysis as you're asking the questions from the.
All right, what about the Disneyland guy, Tony Todd? What was his name? Todd? Was it Anthony Todd? The guy that lived in the Disneyland area or Orlando Disney. He went home. They made pie for their children. They made pie, like blueberry pie. They made all their children eat the blueberry pie that had not Advil, what Benadryl. The mom and him made Benadryl pies, put the kid out, and then one by one he took their lives. All right, I can't remember his name. I wanted to cover. I think it's Anthony Todt. Do you guys remember that? He suffered. He claimed to suffer a delusion after one by one taking the life of his children. I'll have to pull that up so you can see. That was a wild case. Wild. Benadryl pie. Yeah, I'm going to show you. I'll show you in a second, or I'll tell you.
Law perspective, you have to know kind of what you're asking and why.
And Bob, the most important witnesses for all this may be the surviving children.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one of the things that the psychiatric testimony and the forensic testimony is going to be goal-oriented behavior. That's the term that's used both before, during, and after. And the children are going to be indicating that she purposefully attempted to harm them as well after the 4-year-old was killed, and of course after the husband was killed as well. And it's that level of continuing conduct that prosecutors are going to argue through the children, which apparently they're going to be testifying that she was doing this intentionally, that she had that goal-oriented behavior, and that's going to be a significant factor in favor of the prosecution. It's not just about whether she's mentally ill, it's a question of whether or not she's legally responsible under the mental health laws of that state.
Let's take a listen to the sheriff here talking about the father.
His clothes off to attempt to swim out to prove his faith and likely drown accidentally.
What are your thoughts about the husband, the father, Dr. Sue?
Watch, we're going to take a quick break for that. I'm going to show you Anthony Todt. Yeah, Todt. This guy was the perfect father on paper, a physical therapist. They lived near Disney World, perfect family. And he took them all out. They made pie. Yes, a physical therapist. They made pie, blueberry pie, put a bunch of Benadryl in it, knocked them out, and then he took a knife and took their life one by one. I just want to show you real quick because I think that you guys will know who I'm talking about. And at some point, I wanted to share this case. So this is the guy, real quick. I'll just play a quick one.
Youth coach and always smiling in Disney photos. But in January 2020, police walked into his Florida home and found his entire.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
He was a perfect dad on paper.
How do you open these things up?
Physical therapist, youth coach, and always smiling in Disney photos.
That guy.
But in January 2020, police walked into his Florida home and found his entire family dead. Anthony Todt had murdered his wife, Megan, 42 years old, and their 3 kids, Alec, 13, Tyler, 11, and Zoe, just 4 years old, and even their dog, Breezy.
Even the dog. He even took the dog's life. So this guy, and he took the stand. He was so brazen that he took the stand and he watched his own confession. And when he did the confession, he was in like one of those marshmallow suits like Stephen Stearns. And he told them everything about one by one taking their life. And yes, he blamed it on his wife.
He lived in the house with their decomposing bodies for weeks. Friends had been getting strange texts. No one had heard Megan's voice.
He lived
Meanwhile,
with the bodies,
Anthony was
guys.
drowning in over $100,000 of debt from medical fraud, overdue loans, and a lifestyle he couldn't afford.
Yes.
Federal agents showed up with a warrant, not for murder, but for insurance fraud. Anthony had been billing patients for fake treatments and stealing from Medicaid. But when they entered the home, the smell gave everything away.
He stayed in
He
the
first
house
blamed
with the
his
bodies.
wife, then claimed it was a family suicide pact.
Yep.
But autopsies revealed the truth. The kids were drugged. The family was stabbed or suffocated.
You remember that?
In 2022, Anthony was sentenced to life in prison. He's never given a straight answer about why. And please subscribe.
No, he's given not a straight answer. He's given many answers, and he tried to play the role of he took a bunch of Benadryl before he went and turned himself in, or when they found him, whatever it was that they found him with all the bodies. I think that was an AI video. I just found it real quick to give you guys a quick clip of Anthony. Wild case, same thing. Wiped his family out, tried to play into religious delusions. He says him and his wife sat down and talked about it, and they felt it would be better to give themselves to God than to live in this world, right? Disney dad lived with the bodies for weeks.
Look, I think you're going to learn a lot as we continue to see this case develop. I don't know exactly what to think of the father. Perhaps the father went out there to save his son and then drowned.
So in this case, the reason I even thought about that is because they're trying to understand if the father was in on it with the mother and maybe took the little boy down there, took his clothes off and kept him held down there and was part of it. What's up, Michelle? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Happy Friday.
Or he was pushed in. I don't know what was going on there. This is all speculation at this time. But, you know, we do know that the mother was harming possibly the other children as well. Where was he in all of this? And I think it brings up all of these questions that we will see unfold as we go through this.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what makes this much different than the Andrea Yates case is that the husband was nowhere to be found and they pointed the finger at him as causing some of the mental problems that Andrea Yates was suffering from. Here, the husband is gone, so he won't necessarily be a part of the trial, but his role significant. Good news. Rick King, Bob Bianchi, Dr. Sue Kornbluth staying with us. When we come back, we'll take a look at what happened in her first appearance in court.
Yes, that's what I want to show you.
Investigate. Join Court TV. Trial coverage.
Miller is purposely.
All right, now look at how much different her demeanor is. I don't know if she talks much in this. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but the way the judge addresses her and her two lawyers really, truly believe that she had a delusion and a breakdown. In my opinion, they do. MM Clark, much love to you, my friend. Go have fun. Happy Friday.
Caused the death of a child victim, designated child
Maybe.
victim 1, who is under the age of 13 years of age at the time of the.
It's like she's realizing what she did now. Watch her body language, her demeanor when he talks about taking the little boy's life and everything that happened. Now she's like, oh, what did I do? That's what she looks like.
Commission of the offense.
There is the defendant, Ruth Miller, in court hearing the charge against her. Here are the rest of the charges. So you have obviously the aggravated murder of the 4-year-old son, but you also have murder, felonious assault as the lesser included there. Then you've got child endangering of the 15-year-old daughter and 3 counts of domestic violence for the 15-year-old daughter and 2 18-year-old sons. That's when she is driving erratically with the children in the golf cart heading towards the water. Now, take a look. You're going to see her attorney, Ian Friedman, who's a regular guest on this program, enter the official plea for Ruth Miller. Take a listen.
I'm also aware, Ms. Miller, that your attorneys earlier had filed on your behalf, as required by law, if someone intends to do this, a notice of the defendant's plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. I'm going to turn to Attorney Friedman just to confirm that's in fact the plea that should be entered in this case.
That is in fact the plea that we are entering by right at this time.
Okay, and that's what we'll be doing. I will enter a plea on your behalf of not guilty by reason of insanity.
Well, that was fast. I mean, out of the box, not guilty by reason of insanity is a plea. It seems obvious to all of us, but sometimes in the legal world, things take a little bit longer to develop. Not here. Let me ask you, Dr. Sue.
And yeah, that's a possibility. I see some of your discussions, and then Tiff texted me about the father and the sheriff talking about possibly the father being involved. She said the woman said her husband got out of the water and went back to the family's RV. The woman told investigators that her husband was disappointed in himself because he didn't do very good in his task. So does that mean that he was part of it? Does she think that maybe? Was she having a delusion about that? What happened? Yeah, the swimsuits. You guys are funny talking about the long dress swimsuits. I just love seeing what these people think that will happen in this case. I have to agree with them, and most of you feel that way.
Because this is a case where the husband ended up in the water as well.
Yeah.
Is it possible that both could be suffering from the same delusion?
I mean, Vinny,
right?
Anything is could be happening here, right? They could be both delusional, believed in the same thing, were brainwashed by the same people who took them here. I think what's going to end up happening here is they're going to be claiming something along the lines of religious psychosis, or that she has some form of schizophrenia where she's having delusions, is hearing voices. Is it possible that both of them were engaged in this kind of, cultish kind of mentality? I just don't know. There's too many unanswered questions.
Yeah, guys, if you just rolled in, this is the Amish woman charged with taking the life of her son, telling police that she gave him to God. Now, I don't see anything about them charging her with her husband being not alive. So it's interesting here the way they're charging this. And do they believe that story? Were they really having a same delusion, or is she just saying that? Does she think that? I don't get it. That I don't get
here. But I promise you that you will see that that's probably what they're going to be arguing here. And I'm sure that people are thinking this right now. And I don't know if the panel is either. Is she faking what she's doing there, or is it real?
Yeah, Bob, how do you get to the bottom of that?
Exactly.
Is she malingering? Is she really suffering?
And that's where we learn a lot, right, Princess Mish? I know you're here. You go, I see you over there, Duty Ron, and they break it down, no fluff, and we learn about mental health. I mean, this is going to escalate to the next case and the next filicide, right? So we can learn all about this. And that's why I'm here, to bring the cases to you, give the victims voices, and learn. I love to learn about things that I have no idea about. This one, typically in cases like this, I usually think that people are malingering and this didn't really happen. In this case, and seeing her demeanor and how she's talking, and looks like she's in a delusion, or she just snapped and she's in psychosis. This one I do believe.
From this delusion. I mean, everything we saw that she did in the response here, putting her hands on the officers as they respond, taking a knee with someone else who was trying to help her. How do you get to the bottom of that? And is there a chance that prosecutors could agree that she's not guilty by reason of insanity?
Vinny, on the case that I was just talking to you about, we agreed it was a not guilty by reason of insanity, but there were reasons why. There was a previous mental health history. Is there one here? There was a previous diagnosis of a known psychiatric illness, which is required under the law before you can avail yourself of this defense. And in my case, there was. And the person did not get their medication that they were supposed to have. They decompensated, and they clearly didn't understand the difference between right or wrong. But I see this case a lot differently here. I see her making admissions. Now, she can be delusional.
She did, and I love what this guy says, but yes, she did make omissions. And you're right, Catherine. That's why I brought up the Tony Todd situation, because Tony says his wife was having the same thoughts as him. And instead, she asked Tony's wife said, you take their lives and then take mine and take yours. That's kind of what this lady's saying here. And yeah, it's not possible for two people to have the same delusion. Now, they could have the same plans like Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, but the plans don't equal a delusion. And yeah, Rosalie, I don't know. I'm not trying to be on a diet, but hey, much love to you for saying that I look thinner. I appreciate that. Kudos to you.
She can have a mental illness, but that does not a get out of free jail card. You have to show she didn't know the difference between right or wrong.
Yeah,
I find her conduct to be manipulative. I hope that they asked more questions to get to that part, whether she knew it was right or wrong. But I do note that she indicates here and makes a very telling statement that's going to go up on a big poster board with the prosecutors. People will tell me that I'm crazy. What she's saying by that is she recognizes that the actions that she did, the thing that she did, would be perceived by others to be crazy, which is an exact opposite of what the insanity defense is, because you can't appreciate the difference between right or wrong, but yet she recognizes it. So she can have all the delusions in the world, all the religious crazy in her head. That's not a get out of jail free card. She makes a number of admissions here. And by the way, the whole husband thing, call me curious. They wrote that off as an accident, not undetermined.
See, he's starting to talk about it, and I'm so glad because I'm just so glad because they didn't address it there, and they're not charging her with any of that. And yes, she can be delusional. No, she is. All right, let's keep going.
Yet to be seen. I find it very suspicious, but Vinny, I'm getting old, so maybe I'm getting a little too suspect with people. Yeah. Nevertheless, it's not a good look for her.
Rick, he's got his closing argument ready, right. Bob does already, just from that statement that people are going to call me crazy.
Chris, watch the fence.
I see that Bob and I often are on the other side. He has a prosecutorial edge like somebody else I know, Vinny. And I look at it from a different perspective, from the defense side, which is why the very first thing that I brought up in this is, do those statements even come in? That's important because...
So the whole discussion on this case, she pled insanity, and her legal team is backing that up, as well as the judge. They have her in a mental hospital right now, guys.
Just like he said, and I recognize that statement that she says people might find me crazy is suspect, and I get that. But also, don't forget, there's going to be, the state has the opportunity to put her in front of their witnesses, in front of their experts and doctors to check the veracity of her claim to be insane at the time. So they get their chance to evaluate her as well.
Dr. Sue Kornbluth, how important is it for you to know the history of what was going on in this family and what was happening with these children?
It is important. The whole thing is important.
It is extremely important because I think who's ever evaluating her, and I'm sure she's been evaluated many times by now, that they are going to look back into the history to see what her parenting skills were with these children. They're probably going to interview the children as well to get a better understanding of what was going on in this home. How does she discipline? What should she do? Was there abuse going on in here? Did that lead her to become insane?
So here's the thing is she's Amish. She's in the Amish community. And what we talked about, Marissa, in the beginning is that typically in communities like the Amish community, religious communities that are heavy into religion, they don't recognize mental illness in the way that we do. They say, pray to God, pray harder, listen harder. I mean, when we saw the body cam after she did that, she said God had a message for her and for the people that were there. And she went and got on her knees to pray. So did people know she was mentally ill? Not that we know of yet, but maybe people will come in and testify and say, we saw the signs. Who knows? Probably not, though. But I think she will end up being charged ultimately as being insane. She'll probably spend the rest of her life in a mental hospital. We don't know. This case just started about 2 weeks ago.
There are other things going in the house with the husband. Was there domestic violence? What was going on? What led her to do this? Because I'm going to tell you what she's presenting right now on this video is showing the world that she has some kind of mental disorder going on. But as we've seen in other cases, Vinny, manipulative people can really be manipulative and hide even psychosis sometimes and fake it. And that's where I'm going with this right now. But the evaluators, the forensic evaluators, psychological evaluators, I hope do their job and get to the bottom of this.
Okay, our guests are staying with us when we come back. Catherine McBanoa has...
All right, so this is Charlie Adelson. You guys, we did a lot here on this case today, and I think, it's pretty simple what happened. We just don't know what the outcome's going to be. And thank you, Chris, for saying that this this family is from a closed community, that would make a big difference, guys. Anyone from the community is more likely than brainwashed. So, I mean, there's not a lot that you guys are. Somebody said they're lost. There's not a lot to be lost on. This case just happened weeks ago, and this mom, Ruth Miller, Amish mom, is accused of taking the life of her 4-year-old son during a spiritual delusion. She's now pled insanity, guys. All right. So, I mean, we have other things on this case. I think there's a doctor that broke down what she does, but that would be for another time. In this case, it's what we know now. It's what we know now. She went to court. She pled insanity. They didn't really break it down much in the case. They didn't show a whole lot going on. So let me show this clip real quick to you so you can see what happened in court, what the outcome is, and where she is right now. All right. Let's just take this quick clip I haven't shown you yet. Accused of taking the life of a 4-year-old son. Let's listen to what the court has to say. And that's where we are in the case.
Story here. A mother in court today accused of drowning her son in what the sheriff calls a, quote, spiritual delusion.
And she is getting some high-powered legal assistance.
I don't know why.
Live tonight with the new developments. Harry.
Guys, Ruth Miller walked into a courtroom here in Tuscarawas County today in handcuffs and leg irons to begin to face the bar of justice for the death of her innocent child.
I threw him in the lake and I gave him to the
Ruth Miller, mother of 4, cried in court today as the judge read the 7 charges against.
But do you guys see what difference, how she looks different? Like she's not in the delusion anymore and she's realizing what happened in this case. All right, Rebecca, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Chief, are you still here? I have that clip with Charlie Kirk. I don't think that's the guy. I'm going to ask you guys, stay here real quick. I want to ask you if I have a clip of a guy debating with Charlie Clerk, and Chief Rocca says it's the guy that was arrested. I don't think so, but you guys can weigh in. So let me just show you where she ended up here, and then we'll talk about what's next.
She faces the charges in regards to what you just heard her say,
the death
of a 4-year-old son and the attempted murder of her other 3 children back on August 25th of this year at Atwood Lake here in Tuscarawas County.
You want to call it?
Entered a not guilty plea by reason of insanity on her behalf. That speaks to the state of mind, and that's what I asked him about. Why, on that day, did she go out admittedly and toss her child into the lake?
Yeah, so I think what we have, and I think you've seen them, I know your station has seen them also and posted them, the body cams from the first responders, we see in real time, we saw raw footage of what was going on in her mind and, you know, what she was reacting to and so forth. I think this case, what you're going to see in this case is one centered around mental health, and you're going to see the input of many different experts in many different fields. We're going to be talking about that exact question that you just posed.
All right, so there you go. I mean, this is in Ohio, guys, and this news station is heavily covering this case. All right, so I mean, I'll keep you guys up to date. We don't have a huge crowd. I would hope that more people would be interested in hearing about mental illness and how it affects mothers and with filicide. I mean, at the very beginning, I gave you the cases of the mothers, the infamous ones. Now, Chief Rocca, I got the phone number open for you. I'm going to play the Charlie Kirk clip that you gave me. It is Friday, so if you want to call in, we can certainly do a call in. More just got here. You guys don't forget to hit that like button. And Chief Rocca, let me play this clip. And then certainly, I always promise to have call-ins. I have no problem with that. We're not still talking about that case. I'm looking at the Charlie Kirk case for the sake of...
When this smug liberal made an...
For the sake of what Chief sent me. So Chief, if you're still here, Royal Bitch X, good night, much love, happy Friday. I don't know where Jen's a Gypsy is tonight. You guys, there's a lot of things that I didn't have to put filicide or mental illness in the title, since that's this case. It's just this case, what it's about. So I don't need to, I put that in my hashtags, etc. Trust me, I can't make I can't have a title that's that big. And I've been doing quite a good job, I would think, with my hashtags lately. Hold on. All right, Chief. Hold on one second. You there? Hey, I can't put you on yet until I play this. So hold on a second, all right? Let me play this clip. Nobody can hear you except for me. 1 second. I will, and then I'll put you on. Right? I'm listening.
Insane accusation against Trump supporters, Charlie Kirk exposed his utter hypocrisy with a single observation which left him completely speechless.
Why are more far-right hate groups such as the Proud Boys and stuff like that going for Trump specifically?
Why is Iran for Kamala Harris? I don't know what the question is.
Like Trump, okay.
Do you know who Richard Spencer is? Do you remember that name?
No,
The white supremacist. You know he just endorsed Kamala Harris and voted for Kamala Harris? David Duke. You know that name?
No, I do not.
Yeah, David Duke, the former leader of the KKK, also endorsed Kamala Harris.
Interesting.
So what do you think of Antifa?
Well, are you for fascism? Because that's what Antifa is.
Well,
so then,
no. Well, hold on. Let me get this straight.
Because Antifa is anti-fascist.
Well, that's their name, but in practice, they hunt people down and batter them and assault them.
Do they?
Yes, like Andy No and like myself and many others that have been hunted down by Antifa in the past.
I mean, there are plenty of crazy people out there on both sides. I just find it funny how more of those groups are going for him.
They're not, because look around you. This is your average Trump supporter is what you're surrounded by. Decent, amazing people that want a better country. You have one side that is trying to troll with whatever ridiculous stuff and interrupt me. You have another side that here wait patiently and ask questions. Which side wants civil dialogue?
I'm still watching it, Chief, and then I'll bring you on. We won't talk too political, okay? We can talk, but we don't get too political. I don't want people getting upset after. Okay, all right, let's finish this, and then I'll bring you on. I always love talking with you.
Dialogue and free speech.
When this smug liberal made an insane accusation against Trump supporters, Charlie Kirk exposed his utter hypocrisy with a single observation which left him completely speechless.
Why are more far-right hate groups such as the Proud Boys and stuff like that going for Trump specifically?
Why is Iran for Kamala Harris? I don't know what the question is.
Like Trump, okay.
Do you know who Richard
All right.
Spencer is? Do you remember that name?
All right,
The white supremacist.
All right, let me pull this down. I'm gonna bring you up so we can listen to you and hear what you have to say. And good to hear you. All right, let's see. All right, can you guys go ahead and say hello, Chief Rocco?
Hello.
All right,
Hello, girlfriends.
Hello, can you guys hear him?
Can you guys hear me?
Can you guys hear Chief? He wants to.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
All right, we're discussing, the shooter, not the content of the video, real quick. It's a Friday. All right, go ahead.
All right. Here's my reason. All right. This is dating back to prior to the election. You heard that. Now, he looks younger in it. I think it's him with the jawbone, the nose, and the eyebrows. Taking the ball cap off and the sunglasses.
Here's the thing
now,
go ahead. I didn't see the guy smile, so in this one I see like a gap in his teeth. Carolina says it looks like Tyler Robinson. Go ahead.
Now, here's my point. My point being is, if you paid attention to what the bald sheriff was talking about, he was talking about Antifa and all those other different things. Which, if that really is him in this short,
right,
that's motivation right there.
Right. Well, yeah.
To carry out.
Yeah. Do
To
you know how
carry
many
out what he
clips?
did.
There's a lot of clips like that, Chief. I've been looking at this case now, and first of all, I'm surprised at the debates and how far some of them went in person even that day. But prior to that, you got trans people coming at him, right? You've got a lot of, it's hard to talk about this without getting political or pissing someone off. So I'm doing my best there. Okay.
Now that you mention that, I watched another clip. There was a girl. She asked Charlie a question. Charlie gave his answer. She was happy. The next girl goes, I have one question. If you keep on talking this way, you might end up dead, and walked away from him.
Right.
Now, really? I mean, that's terroristic threats right there.
Right. I mean, I feel like there were other ones too. And even that day, his last words were talking about guns and owning them, which is wild.
Yeah.
That's
right when, yep. Now, I don't know if you follow Newsmax news station. Well, Newsmax next week, Charlie Kirk's next book was supposed to come out.
Okay.
The title, let me think. The title of it is Pagan something. But on Newsmax, if you get a hold of them through Newsmax, they're giving you a copy for free.
Right.
Prior to the release of the book. And this book is supposed to be very insane. He talks about stuff that's gonna go happen that he sees like Notre Dame shit.
Right.
So I'm kind of interested in seeing what this book's going to be about because it's a lot what we're facing now in our society.
Yeah, and I've been looking. I mean, I wanted to cover this case today, but I saw so many people covering it, and there was thousands of people in chat, and I was like, I don't want to run it the same day. But you're absolutely right at looking into this case. Now, first of all, let me just say this: I don't think there's some big conspiracy theory. I think that he picked somebody off. Suzanne says Tyler Robinson confessed to his father, and his father consulted with a few pastors and turned him in.
Yeah.
And then we also saw the guy on the roof. I just don't understand where these conspiracy theories are coming from. That I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, from what I hear, is they're from Washington, Utah, which is a suburb, supposedly of Salt Lake.
Right.
And his father was 27 years as a sheriff. He's retired.
Right.
And yeah.
I mean,
I think he talked them into owning up to it.
Oh yeah, that portion I heard. I wish I could have you up here and play clips, but you can't on call-ins because I have another clip about officials hinting at the motive and talking about Tyler Robinson. It's like a 3-minute clip, and I know we're covering a different case, but I still want to have this conversation. So maybe I'll play that when you
you put it together. I'll call you anytime.
Yeah, definitely. I will do that, and I think that we should.
My input, you got it.
I do. I think.
And also, I give you permission, Jay, to give my number to MM.
Okay.
Claire.
MM Clark. Okay. Okay. As of they should show why a person's view of Kirk, no one should talk ill of. Yeah, right. And I'm talking with chat. There's a lot of things going on in the social media. People are celebrating and getting. They shouldn't do that. Agree.
Listen to this. My brother called me up today, and he's like, "Dude, I got to go down to Sarah's school." I'm like, "Is she okay?" A teacher, a black teacher in my niece's school, on her Facebook, posted how she was happy that he got off and that she would have liked to do it herself. And so parents started bum rushing the school.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Displeased about, and this teacher's supposedly getting fired. And I've heard of a few other cases. They're cracking down on people making threats and stuff.
Yeah, no, I see that. I see people celebrating. Chief is on the phone, guys. Chief is on the phone, and we're talking about the Charlie Kirk situation because it's a Friday and we can't. People in chat are asking, but yeah, I mean, I think when I present the case after getting everything together and everything I've seen, I feel like that it's just more straightforward than we think. It's like BK, right? People are still saying Brian Koberger didn't do it. He's the fall guy, but really, it's just as plain and simple as.
I'll tell you what. I'm so fed up with all this drama. The drama turned cyberbully bullshit on the streets here.
Me too, my friend.
It's insane, and I'm trying to get a hold of the White House, and I'm going to ask why.
Right.
Tennessee doesn't have internal affairs. Why these cases aren't closed.
Right.
Why they aren't solved. Yeah, these are all things that are real that need to be cleaned up.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think we're in the time of we're in a time and like this day and age with technology, I think law enforcement needs to catch up with where we are with social media and what we're doing on these platforms.
Exactly.
They're just not caught up, simply not caught up again. You know, Catherine says they better have evidence. I'm pretty sure they do, Catherine. That's the thing is once they caught this Tyler Robinson guy, it's like they have so much not only evidence on him, but video of the person getting down from the and I mean with the shirt and that's it. I mean, I don't understand what I can't imagine what conspiracy came along with this. I can't.
Hey, I know we don't talk about other channels, but they won't let Dolly in CrimeCon. I think it's because of all the other trash channels that went sideways.
Yep.
They're taking a look at that, and I'm thinking, well, a lot of it has to do with these channels that have the right intentions, but their subs are kind of like off the wall and.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed YouTube's
and it's
platform
a
is
reflection of the creator. It's not a
right.
reflection of just them.
That I agree with, and I think many people don't realize that they shouldn't have to. YouTube is a platform where you are supposed to be watching TV, kind of. You're watching somebody do something that's creating content.
A professional.
Yeah,
if you want law enforcement to look at your channel like an asset,
right? Well, and I agree with you, and it's wild because many of these channels are being influenced by their subs to do things.
Yeah.
And then even when you're not running a video, these subs are running around all over to different channels, telling somebody one thing and then coming back and saying another. And that's why we try to keep the channel cleaned up because of that.
Oh yeah. But I believe here, if it was my goal, I would love to have a channel like all the top dogs, like you, Dolly,
right,
DD, Mob Crew.
Right. Yeah, I like Mab.
What if a group of channels that really got the heart and the brains and solved a case, YouTubers solving a case before law enforcement, I'm sure they would look at the crime streets a whole different way, and they wouldn't mind us being on the scene and asking questions and giving our input.
Right. Well, I think we just haven't caught up yet with all of that, to be honest. And even this platform, I mean, they just haven't identified what's happening here. And they need to. It's going to catch up at some point. I'll tell you that. A lot of people probably don't even know what we're talking about right now, but I understand where you're coming from, and I don't really talk much about what happens behind the scenes, right?
Right.
Thank you, Barbie G. Appreciate it. You guys are here. Do you mind if I show a couple of clips? With that, I can't have you up here while I'm doing it. I have to drop you.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
But there's an ex-FBI agent that breaks down the evidence so people can say, oh, okay, this isn't a conspiracy. I'd like to kind of set that tone. And then also the suspect fleeing, they have that. And I just don't understand how you can really dispute that.
Yeah.
It's this guy. I can't understand that.
I'll research it. I'll find the video that Mike, who Mike Davis is, right? Profiling Evil.
Yes. Yeah, I like him.
He did an interview with Dylan Round's mom.
Okay.
Towards the end. And he broke down why law enforcement isn't particularly kosher with YouTubers getting involved because of something that happened on the Dylan Rounds case. Another YouTuber from out there that's not necessarily a true crime channel, they were out there and they more or less were looking for scrap metal and stuff.
Right.
And kind of, but that video it's a really good video. And although his mom does appreciate that YouTubers did have an interest, what the pros and cons are.
No,
of
it's
and it goes for anybody
yeah,
searching.
I mean, it's a 50-50 kind of thing. There's many
Yeah.
times that I'm working on a case and I run into an article where law enforcement clearly says, stop airing this until you know the facts, and we haven't even let the facts out. And now, before I get to that, Catherine, could you do me a favor and send me cases@gmail.com? Send me Kira's name. That's where I take my case suggestions. I see Catherine in chat saying Kira needs help, and I don't know who that is, but I also can't remember it later on. So send me an email. And then to Chris, many people don't want to see the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but those that are working on the case need to see that stuff in order to understand where the shooter was, what direction it came from, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm answering Chris's question. Did you see the video, the brutal video of him the whole video of him getting shot, Chief?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Because every video I tried to pull up had it blurred and stuff.
Okay, a lot of people say it's blacked out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm not going to definitely show that here. I have it on my channel. I mean, on my ghost channel, and I put it behind a paywall so people don't accidentally just land on it, right? I've already watched it.
You can send it to me.
Yeah, I watch all of those videos. I don't think I have your email. Send me an email. I'm gonna just show a couple of clips real quick, and then
I don't really use email, but can you text it?
Yeah, actually, I can, as long as you don't share it with anyone. I'll send it to you.
No.
Okay.
No, I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah. I think people don't need to see it if you're not working with the case or trying to figure out, okay, did that come from that direction, and how fast, what direction? You don't need to watch it, but you're, yeah.
That's the other thing. There's other channels saying that he was wearing a vest and the bullet ricocheted upward into his neck. That's impossible.
Yeah,
there ain't no way.
But guess what? I have the video that shows it going right into his neck and just exploding, and then the blood went right from where it hit the carotid artery, and it just started dripping down his arm that had, he was holding a microphone and just going. So yeah, I saw that. And it hit it hit his artery and then exploded. It didn't. It did not. And that's because people didn't see it. People that think they saw the video saw an edited version. And I saw it go directly into his neck and explode. And then, so anyway, let me, I'm going to do this. Let me play a couple clips. I'm going to drop you down. I know we're not talking about that case, but I still have people in chat that I want to talk to.
All good, Josh.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah,
I will,
do what you do.
Yeah, I'm going to drop you down, and then I'll text you that video later and tell me what you think.
That's cool.
All right. I appreciate
it. My number.
Yes, I got you. All right,
Thank
Chief.
you.
Bye-bye.
Love ya.
Love ya. Love ya. Everybody love Chief. Mwah.
Love ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chief's awesome, man. You gotta love Chief. All right, you guys, hey, you're here. I don't even care if we only have a couple people here. I'm happy to talk about this, and it's a Friday, so let's do this. I'm gonna show you Charlie Kirk suspect. I'm going to kind of just give you guys a few things that I'm thinking. Gaggle of people who are on the spectrum from minimal neurosis to flat out patching. Right. All right. So this is the Charlie Kirk suspect. I just want you guys to see this. I am going to cover this case, but I want to look at it real quick.
So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right.
You see him right here, guys?
Far right corner.
If you haven't seen that yet, take a look.
As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is.
So if you guys just see him jumping from that building and the shoe imprint he left, and then when they catch him, that's him with the shoe that made an imprint. He confessed. His dad talked him into it. I just can't understand what the conspiracy can be other than somebody paying him or directing him to do that, which I don't think. He's a 22-year-old guy, and they're looking at his connections. So let's watch him run off.
Clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes.
Wear Converse tennis
Again, we'll
shoes,
replay
guys.
that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for.
And the university.
In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt.
Yeah, look at this again. I'm going to show you what FBI says, but I mean, you can see what's happening here. There's no illusions. And listen, the university said they admitted and apologized for having such laxed, almost to no security that day, guys. They weren't thinking this was going to happen. They were thinking, oh, we got this big guy. We got this Charlie Kirk. Everybody loves him. He's on the side of Trump. Let's get him in here to pass out, just have a good time, pass out hats and get the conversations going. It doesn't matter who doesn't agree with him. They didn't imagine any of that happening. All right. In my opinion.
With an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right.
There he is, running right here.
After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area.
It's almost
this is
over.
the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced.
I mean, that's their guy. That's the guy that they caught. And they showed you 7 ways from Sunday what happened, who it is, what the evidence is. I don't understand. I want to hear if you guys heard of other conspiracies. You see him, and then what I show you next, I don't understand where the gray area is. Other than, did somebody hire him to do that?
Earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt.
Really,
like I said,
Wyatt?
very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this
Hey,
suspect.
Bella's boys, good to see you.
Next picture.
Come on in.
And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo. And again, the T-shirt, blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out. And we just ask for the public's cooperation.
I mean, I think things just get pushed so far that people feel like that's what they need to do. And I don't understand
former
it.
FBI agent Doug Coons.
All right, listen, this is the breakdown about this shooting and this character. Let me see. Let me make sure this is, because they have a whole video about why they think that's him. Well, what's his name? Is it Tyler Robinson? Tyler Robinson. And what we know, it's crazy. I can't understand. Officials identified 22-year-old Tyler Robinson as the shooter. Let's see.
We are getting some breaking news on the investigation into the shooting of Charlie Kirk. And for that, we'll turn to Eamon Javers. Morning, Eamon.
Carl, that's right. We just had a briefing from the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, along with the FBI and Utah law enforcement. And what we've learned here is that Utah authorities are identifying 22-year-old Tyler Robinson as the suspected shooter here. They say he is in custody. He was taken into custody last night at about 10 p.m. After family members apparently reached out to law enforcement and suggested that Robinson had been involved in the shooting. Fascinating discussion from the governor of Utah here about how this happened and what we know about this shooter. But the governor of Utah placing blame here squarely on social media and saying that some of the social media images we've seen, not only of the Kirk shooting, but also other violent instances recently.
And I also heard people debating on whether he had a scope, which is the most wild thing ever, because if you're a person that owns, handles, and knows how to use guns, you wouldn't do that without a scope. You most of the time don't have a high-powered rifle without a scope, and there's no way from that building to where he would have done it without a scope. So I don't understand where that comes from. Of course he had a scope. That's like saying, watching him jump off the building with his high tops and saying he's barefoot. He didn't have shoes on. That wasn't him. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not the truth. He had to have had a scope. There's no way to do that without one. Of course, he had a high-powered, high assault rifle with a scope. How would he not have? I don't get that. I don't understand. I'm going to show you next who he is so you guys can see what exactly he had access to and what he had. I just see it clear as day, not clear as mud.
Are amping up rage in American society.
You saw it?
Here's what he said.
Okay, saw it.
We are not wired as human beings biologically.
Yes.
Historically, we have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community.
So the governor of Utah there calling social media a cancer on our country, urging people to log off, touch grass.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing to say, but easier said than done. And they weren't on social media when that happened. It was at an event where they were outside touching grass with the air. The bottom line is they didn't have enough security. They should have. All right. They should have, knowing now that Donald Trump has been tried to, there was attempted assassination on Trump 3 or 4 times. At least 3 people have tried. And the one time it hit Trump in the ear. Why don't they have more security at those events? He was just talking about get off social media. They weren't on social media. They were outside. I don't get it. It's so concerning. This guy, 22. Look at this guy. Look at the gun, guys. These young adults are dealing with anger in a twisted way. They think, yes, they do. And with all the shootings, etc. And yes, you got people that don't know about GUNs, don't know. And yes, this is social media. But that wasn't social media. It was real life. Look at this kid.
Accused assassin posing with a 50 caliber machine gun. The chilling photo was taken at a military recruiting event. Tyler Robinson also posed with an anti-tank missile launcher. Here's what we've learned about the 22-year-old suspect accused of the political assassination that is shocking America.
Tyler Robinson.
He graduated from Pineview High School in Washington, Utah in 2021. Graduation photos with his proud mom, Amber, show him with a lei made from dollar bills as a graduation gift. Whip smart, his ACT score.
And that's how I know that guy is not the one that I showed you in that first clip. You can tell now by his face, by his profile, by his smile. Right. Yeah, that was a military show. And in some states, you can go to a show and just walk off with a GUN. I don't think that was one where they were selling it, but this guy was well versed in GUNs growing up, being where he is. And yes, he did get accepted. I saw he won a scholarship. I can't understand why he went so far. Look at his STEM. Look at his, it doesn't make sense.
Or is 34, the top 1%, and he had a 4.0 grade point average. His mom took video the moment he learned he had earned a scholarship.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University.
But the family's joy was short-lived. He attended Utah State University for just 1 semester before dropping out. I spoke with criminologist Casey Jordan.
He really just does fit the profile of somebody who falls into a rabbit hole, has a feeling of disillusionment and isolation. This kind of person is usually very immature and often at a crux in their life where they feel like nothing is turning out as they planned.
The Robinsons seem like an all-American family. Tyler was raised in this $600,000 six-bedroom home with hunting trophies on the wall.
You see?
Social media posts show family vacations and fishing trips. His mom works with disabled people, and his father, Mark, owns...
And yes, guys, I was going to bring up Luigi Mangione. Same thing. Same thing. That was him. He did it. We saw he made his own GUN and then all these conspiracy theories. Well, you saw how he got down from the roof. So I'm assuming he climbed his way up. Maybe there was a ladder in the back that gave him access through the building, possibly. The shock is curious to me.
The kitchen countertop business. But Utah's governor says Tyler Robinson's life took a dark turn.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
He said that at a family dinner before the shooting, Robinson vented about the visit of Charlie Kirk to Utah Valley University.
They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
Investigators also revealed that Kirk's assassin left behind bullet casings with political messages. One says, "Hey, fascists, catch." Another says, "Bella Chow Chow."
See, so like he did that. I believe he acted alone. He walked up the stairwell. They admitted that there wasn't good or little to none, no security, and that's what he did. And then he jumped off the building and walked away. Yes, farm girl, everyone has guns, plural. Absolutely. I'm not a farm girl either, and yet I do as well, plural. And when you know, when you know, and you're handling this type of case, you look at and you listen to what people are saying and you're like, nah, that's not right. That's not right at all.
Chow Chow, a song used in the video game Far Cry 6, and which radical elements have adopted as an anti-fascist anthem.
Oh,
Bella
no.
Chow Chow Chow.
There was also a reference on the bullets to a violent video game, Helldivers 2. The chilling engravings on bullet casings are invoking comparisons with Luigi Mangione, who prosecutors say scrawled messages on the bullets used to kill United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
It's how people are making statements nowadays, and it's happening all the time, and it's coming out in school shootings. But you guys gotta know that if 3 to 4 people have already tried to assassinate Trump, that they're gonna have to have security at these types of events. And now it's gonna go the other way. There's gonna be an event of people that are on the left side that are gonna start getting mad about what's happening and retaliating back. It's just, and you never win. This is a no-win situation.
Like Luigi, Tyler Robinson is young and intelligent and had so much going for him before allegedly lashing out with a mindless act of violence.
Something in his life was on a downward spiral, and he picked Charlie Kirk as the target for this hatred, this vitriol.
All right, that wasn't our show today. That wasn't the topic, but I had you, and I was like, hey, I got the audience here. Thank you. Kirk believed in no limits on control, gun control, whatever. Yeah, and I don't think that matters if you have limits or you don't. People are going to get a hold of a weapon when they grow up with one, and they're going to do what they do. I mean, look at California here. We have a ton of gun control, and what good does that do all the time when you hear about the shootings or the school shootings? Someone wants to do it, they're going to do it. All right. One would think if the roof doors aren't locked, they should be now. Absolutely. But that's never going to happen again, probably in that same building, we hope. All right. I appreciate you guys. We've been here for over 2 hours, and my dedicated crime crew people, y'all are still here hanging out with me on a Friday night. Sometimes we just got to talk about what we got to talk about, right? Especially with all the things happening this week. Deb says to have the last vision of their father, those babies watched their father fall, and now we'll never see him again. Yeah, we're talking about now the justice for the Miller family. And Catherine, we're going to look into that case that you sent over. Hey, can you hear me now? Hey, everyone. Oh, this is, can you hear me now? This is little Corey Michelo's picture down there. Hello, can you hear me now? How you doing? All right. Good to see everyone. He didn't have a social media account. Is that a question? All right. So we will cover the Charlie Kirk case at some point, or at least create an episode that puts together the timeline, who he is, and what evidence they have against him. As far as this case goes, I don't think his act was mindless. Right. I don't think so either. I think he absolutely planned it. So in this case, I'll keep you guys up to date on what happens, even if it's just, hey, this lady she's going to be in a mental health facility forever. And then we'll also talk about the Kirk case next week. We'll have new cases. If you have a case suggestion, please go over to your email and email me the email below. Send me cases@gmail.com and let me know what you have in mind. If you want to say hello, guiltyofcrimeby.j@gmail.com. Everything else, I want to thank you guys for all the gifted memberships, super chats, super stickers. I appreciate every single one of you. Love you guys. Happy Friday. Thank you. All right. All the new people here. Oh, come here, Wes. All right. Wes came in to say hi. I know you guys are ready for more discussions. We're 2 hours in. Lovely talking to you guys. Topics are always rough, but if you like the way I present true crime and the topics that I present, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and then share with your community and friends. Big hugs to all of you. Much love. I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Nana Rocks, big prayers to you. I saw your comment, and much love. All right. Your back's been hurting. Holding out. You're going to take a nice hot Epsom salt bath. Have a great weekend. Sadie's mama, love you. Wyatt, my guy. Can you hear me? You missed the whole live. Good to see you pop in here, though. Much love to little Corey Michelo. One Love Revolutionary. Tell your mom I said hello. Give her a big hug. Chief, much love to you. Don't forget, Turtle Island is going to be on Sunday. You guys go over there and vote for Guilty of Crime. If you missed everything, hit the replay crew. All right. Love you guys. 10 years indoctrination in schools and online games. Big hug to all of you. I'm going to go take care of Wesson and go feed him. Happy Friday and have a happy, wonderful weekend. Be safe. All right. Love you guys. See you soon.
Guilty of Crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of Crime.
Are you guilty of crime?